becoming New York City's next mayor. Well, Adams denied it. His campaign denied it. But the president, President Trump, he is not hiding his intentions tonight.
I'd prefer not to have a communist mayor of New York City. And, you know, that's what he is based on his policy, if you look at his statements in the past. So I would like to see two people drop out and have it be one-on-one.
Who cares what he likes or what he wants? What the hell does he have to do with the mayoral race? Why does he even... Shouldn't he be working or releasing the Epstein files?
Sources tell CNN that Adams secretly met with one of President Trump's most trusted advisors to talk about potential new gigs. And tonight, the New York Times is also reporting that Adams is seriously considering dropping out of the race following that meeting. This has escalated very quickly since all the denials yesterday. Now there's talk of, you know, Middle Eastern ambassadorships, federal jobs, private sector jobs, maybe. And all of that in the interest of trying to clear the field for Andrew Cuomo. But again, I ask, will this actually help Cuomo or will this backfire in Trump's face? I don't know.
Well, they may offer Eric Adams a job going to Turkey.
Imagine.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just saying.
That's a line of I'm very sympathetic with the president on this because I believe that a Mamdani mayoralty would bring about the financial collapse of New York and also criminal bedlam. It would be, in both cases, a disaster for New York City. So my organization, SaveNYC.org, formed by the former police commissioner Ray Kelly and I, we are collecting large amounts of money to maximize turnout against Mamdani in November. Right now, we're counting on a 4-person race. But even then, he got 469,000 votes in the primary. In a low turnout race, that would be a winning number. But if turnout gets to 50%, which is a very plausible goal, he does not win. 469 is no longer the winning number. It'll be 592,000, and more likely that someone else will get it. So even in a 4-way race, it's possible to defeat Mamdani, but I fully support the president's efforts.
Let me just...
Oh my God, did you just hear all that? The effort. Imagine, bitch, you know you're good when you literally have people forming armies against you. And she said, we're raising large amounts of money to try to cheat our way into this guy leaving.
Play this because I think this is... you will enjoy this, okay? So this is Zohran Mamdani talking about a debate that he wants to have with the president.
Let's cut out the middleman. Why should I debate Donald Trump's puppet when I could debate Donald Trump himself? If Donald Trump is serious about this, he should come to New York City. We can have as many debates as he wants about why he is cutting SNAP benefits for hungry New Yorkers just to fund tax cuts for his billionaire donors.
I would watch that.
Free TV.
I would watch that.
Look, the only one causing the financial collapse of New York is Donald Trump. Do you see the jobs report in August? 54,000 jobs. It's about as where we were in 2009. Now, if you want to beat Mamdani, fair and square, mobilize folks, fine. The problem is you can't beat him fair and square. You've got billionaires talking to Donald Trump to try to engineer the election to push people out. Why can't you just compete with your ideas? Instead, what you have is a guy who said, I want to help bring the cost of childcare down. I want to bring rents down.
So I
have endorsed him.
Wow.
I want to bring grocery prices down. And it's resonating, and people can't read it.
I want to take over the means of production.
So
I
the
want to defund the police.
Of course,
I've watched him say it.
He's never said that.
100% he did.
The billionaires went to Donald Trump. The billionaires are upset, and they're trying to rig the election. Just play fair and square.
Let me tell you who's really upset. There are over 1 million New Yorkers, civil servants, retirees, teachers, cops, who live in co-ops and condos in the outer boroughs. They are really upset, and they are the voting group we are targeting the most.
Fine,
because Mamdani
is going to force. Why can't you win on the merits? Why
That's what we're doing.
Why are you trying to engineer people out of it?
No, you're not. Exactly.
It's a sad state of affairs for New York City.
It is a very sad state.
It's the evil of two lessers. Is what we have.
But don't you think that if this was so distasteful to so many New Yorkers, They hate socialism so much. This is so extreme. Why would Trump have to come up with a scheme to basically get people out of the race, maybe get them paid in a private sector job or whatever? Why would he even have to do that if the ideas are so reprehensible on their face?
Well, because you have a third of New Yorkers that don't feel they're reprehensible. And that's the sad state of New York. And that's the problem. So he's got a third of the vote, and then you have other candidates splitting the rest of the vote. And so you try to get this to a one-on-one. He probably could, he'd probably lose that if it goes down to Cuomo, which, by the way, I thought was a terrible governor. I think he did a terrible job during COVID, but that's what we're stuck with. And so, that's what they're going to try to do, is get it down to a Cuomo and Mamdani race and see what happens. It still may be tough.
I'd like to say to our viewers, if you're opposed to.
Okay, first of all, you will only hear very, 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 very rich people talk like this lady in the sky. Freeze the rent hits the exact nerve that Republicans and landlords and banks and developers are built to defend: property rights and profit. And you'll hear nothing but swindle type talk from this lady and this guy. And not only that, but oh, my ass, a third of the vote. Please, he's got more than that. He's got at least half, but I'm pretty sure more. But let's just say half, just to make it fair. And the way that this guy, they're so bothered by it because they're losing the argument. So he's talking about it so condescending. Zoran's not this and that. He's not a communist. Does communism even exist still? And if so, what damage is it even doing?
Mamdani for mayor, please come to savenyc.org.
Go ahead,
Please come to savenyc.org.
Oh my gosh, she is so tacky.
This is going to backfire on Trump.
Are you for real? See how desperate they
Mamdani
are?
race is not going to, it'll only be good for Mamdani. What I think is just hilarious about this entire story is life comes at you fast when you're Eric Adams. Just last year, he was indicted by his own political party. And, when you talk about criminals, it's Eric Adams who actually had a grand jury who indicted him.
You can't oppose the Biden administration as Democrat, or you're going to get indicted.
No.
That's exactly what happened.
They actually indicted both parties. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought that the argument was that the Biden administration was engaged in lawfare, but then also, how you do remember that Trump dropped the charges in basically a deal to get Eric Adams' cooperation on immigration.
And, we also prosecuted Hunter Biden, and, we were political, as the Republicans like to say, because it fits their narrative. But when it comes to Eric Adams, there were actual serious criminal charges. A grand jury indicted him. Trump wanted something out of him. Trump got what he wanted out of him when it came to immigration and dropped the charges, and career people resigned. And now you have him potentially going to the Middle East. I don't know.
Okay. Do you think, Roy, that one of the reasons that Trump is so engaged here, this is in the back of my mind.
Okay. Listen to what Abby is asking exactly, okay? Listen carefully to her question.
Does he see the appeal of Mamdani? Does he see a little bit of himself, of what he was able to accomplish? Because let's be honest.
I don't think he admires him.
I don't think he admires him, but I think Trump he knows very well how to throw something truly outrageous into the political sphere, get a lot of people to believe in it, and win.
Correct.
He won on some of those outrageous ideas.
And I think in that regard, Trump sees an idea. Trump sees a legitimate a potential political storm forming off the coast of Mamdani that could grow into something much bigger. So, of course, he's going to try and undermine it now before it gets to that point.
I'm shocked that you think that Mamdani could be an adequate mayor. First of all, he has no experience.
He never said that.
Did I say that?
No.
He just said he got the streets. He has a seat.
He's never run anything except to 5% off.
Well, I've never seen Abby laugh that hard before.
This up in the assembly.
I didn't say anything of the
and
sort.
his ideas of freezing the rent.
Listen, I didn't say anything of the sort. All I said was, this is about politics, right?
Yes.
And the idea that Mamdani has taken ideas that you and many other people think are completely outrageous, that are so extreme, and he went from nobody knows who this guy is to being the probable next mayor of the city is something that only a few people do. And one of the people who did that type of thing was Donald Trump. That's my point.
Very perceptive to point that out. But I would say also that the rise of Mamdani in this primary reflects two things. A pathetic failure of our education system, that so many of these young people who turned out to support Mamdani
haven't reasoned in their own minds what his crime policies will do to make the streets so unsafe, what his freeze the rent policies will do to turn New York literally into a slum within a year as this housing stock becomes totally
Don't forget, take over the grocery.
They're so obsessed with like the whole grocery stores thing. You guys, he's not going to turn every grocery store into this. 4 stores, 1 in every borough except I think Staten Island maybe. Oh my God, get over it. Ask anybody who goes to military like stores that are like this. They all love them. And you know what? That's so interesting. That is so interesting, her reaction. I know MAGA people are always hearing things. It's funny what this lady got out of Abby's question. It's almost the same type of psychologically bizarre reaction Fox and Fools has been having on Gavin Newsom losing their minds over, like they're losing their minds over him just basically doing what Taco Tits does.
So true.
You know, the second you put a mirror in front of them, they call it as they see it, but they don't have the intelligence or the sense to apply the same logic to their brainwashing source. Not to say Zoran is doing what Kankles is doing, but she said, aren't they similar in the way that he went from being unknown to being probably most likely the next mayor? And you do any comparison with Zoran and Taco Tits, they start seeing reality of things, but they don't place them properly. They don't see the morals and the values and the beliefs. And most importantly, like their past actions, their history. Have they shown anything that they're, you know what I mean? That's like, it's crazy that I even have to remind people to even bring this up because it's so like common sense, like second nature. But usually you look at someone's history, their past, you know, what are they showing? That's all it takes. Just look at their history. I mean, Donald has the worst one of all time.
I find that
Take over
very
the grocery
offensive
stores, too.
because I think I never criticize the people who voted for Donald Trump. I never insult their intelligence. I think they're honorable fellow Americans. And for you to insult the intelligence of people who voted for Mamdani,
Not their intelligence, their
anti-American.
education.
It's anti-American.
Education.
And I condemned
It's not the
Secretary
same thing.
Clinton when she used deplorables. And you are basically saying that people who voted for Mamdani are stupid. Shame on you.
This is
No,
why
I'm not saying.
You should apologize.
I will
for
not
that.
apologize
I
because
won't
I'm
say sorry 'cause
absolutely
I'm
right.
You know, I love Rokana, by the way. And yes, uneducated is the same as calling people stupid. Stupid? What do you think Kankles meant when he was praising you dummies for saying the poorly educated? If uneducated doesn't mean stupid, then what the does it mean? And the second we hold up a mirror to that, it's like, oh God, it's so frustrating. I can't believe we all have to dumb down everything. We all have to simplify. We have to fucking lower ourselves so low for you dumb assholes.
You listen
You're
to these
saying that they're-
30-years
Get the
think that
net.
freeze the rent
They have
is a
more moral
reasonable
idealism
policy.
and they're
Okay,
more
can I give you-
vision for
can
this
I give
country
you-
than
Can I
you
give
do.
you another example just so you understand the other perspective, right? You know, there are many people who would say that if you agree with Donald Trump's view of tariffs, for example, that other countries are paying for them, which is not what is happening, then you don't understand basic economics. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, many people on the other side of that issue who are conservatives and liberals or whatever they are might say that is a complete misreading of the issue and that it's actually contrary to like basic economics. And yet the president is saying it. Many of his supporters believe it. Would you be okay with calling those people stupid?
No, but I'm telling you that when they listen to Zoran Mamdani say, I'm going to freeze the rent
Right, but
every year that I'm mayor, that's just
I
buying
get
votes.
that. I get
it's
that.
a totally
But listen,
impractical.
Bad economics on housing, bad economics on taxes, and
Dangerous
tariffs.
ideas.
Bad,
Perverse
bad
ideas.
economics and dangerous economics. Maybe let's just to
Right.
concede that point to you. I'm not saying that. You're saying that on housing. Bad economics, dangerous economics on tariffs.
Yes.
Why is one more stupid than the other?
Well, why? Okay, you're bringing
why?
in tariffs, but I mean,
No, but
they're
the
not
question
dangerous.
is, why is one more stupid and dangerous than the
Well,
other?
she said uneducated, not stupid. So I mean,
did.
she talked about
Thank
the
you.
educational system.
Why is
And
one
it
more-
is a
why
terrible
one more
reflection on our
uneducated?
education
Well, you're
system. The
uneducated,
young
you're
people-
stupid.
There's nothing wrong with
Why
freezing
is
the
one
rent.
more?
You can't freeze the
I mean,
electricity,
why is
the
it
property
in your
taxes,
view that the
the
only
plumbing.
thing that matters
I mean,
is
this
your
lady, she
view
just won't shut
on
up.
how housing should be managed
I
by
would
the
say this.
government,
So-
but not anybody else's view on, let's say, how tariffs are taxes,
Okay,
and
well-
that maybe the president shouldn't be doing them unilaterally.
Well, the president did tariffs in his first term, and we didn't have inflation go up from tariffs. Okay, so it's been
He
that
didn't do anything
statement
near the
has not
scale.
been proven.
He didn't do anything near the scale of what he's doing right now.
But what has been
know that.
proven is when the government runs grocery stores or freezes rent or tries to do rent controls or tries to do all these
Rent
top-down
controls
things,
exist.
and we have a housing
the-
problem in Manhattan
Rent
because
controls
of that.
Here's the
They
problem.
exist, actually.
I want to make, okay, first of all, let's make one thing clear. Because I don't want to go too far. I don't want to stray too far from what he just said. Yes, Trump's tariffs did make things more expensive and were inflationary. They were an inflationary force. And no, they weren't harmless at all. Far from. Dingus.
Really, how?
Quit talking
I
about
I know, and they don't work, and
But
that's the
talking
problem.
about the education system and how these people have a terrible education, and that is why they voted for Mondani, is not how you win over voters. You win over voters by talking about the reasons why Mondani won. Why did he win? Because they believe rent is too high. They can't afford it. They can't afford groceries at the grocery store.
Exactly.
They don't. Their paychecks are going to childcare, to
Hello?
basic needs, and they don't have the money that the people around this table have.
I'll make
And so
it-
I will say that if you actually want to win voters, instead of this kooky business that Trump is doing to try to get Eric Adams out and do a switcheroo on
know,
here, then actually talk to voters about what they care about. And so far, Trump hasn't done that. And that's why Republicans' approval rating is so low.
Go ahead, your last word.
I'll make you a deal. If you do a direct-to-camera ad saying that Mamdani's voters are uneducated, I'll find you the donors to put it on television.
Great.
Okay, guys. Next for
And what happens when Zoran succeeds wildly? Because he doesn't seem like someone to screw around like Trump and his entire and anybody who's around him. Just calling out raising the rent without understanding what that means exactly is just ignorance. What does she know? Who is this lady? Who is this lady? I've never seen her before. Okay, Betsy McCoffey, former New York lieutenant governor. She's a Republican. Okay. Founder and chairman, Committee to Reduce Infection Deaths? Are you freaking heck kidding me right now? This lady's in charge. Okay, whatever. You know, I thought that question that Abby asked was so important. Why is it that the only things that matter are only your view? I had to say that slowly because if any MAGA people can answer that legitimately, I will give you $100. It's impossible. You guys don't have the basic knowledge and anything at all, let alone to answer this question. Why is it that only your views matter? Do you understand that we are all people too? We all are like you. And the only difference between your views and our views is that our views include you. Yours are the opposite. And by the way, Zoran, he's out here, okay? He's on the streets always. I mean, he's always talking to people. I mean, he did this really cute scavenger hunt the other day. Wholesome things, really wholesome things. I mean, the prize for winning that hunt wasn't some crazy scheme or like some huge cash prize to like persuade them. It was just a chai drink from a local shop and a photo with him. I mean, I just thought that was so wholesome. His mom is literally a Disney movie director. He's had a good upbringing. He's a wholesome community, family, hopeful, positive, loving, genuinely caring, totally normal, and super intelligent, even cool, and knows things that like nobody knows about that actually mean something to people. He is this like innocent like God. I mean, he's not anywhere near like these corrupt people. Comment below. Let me know how you feel about this topic. First of all, let me know how you feel about Zoran. I want to hear some positivity about Zoran. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with this lady? I mean, and I forgot who this guy was too. Who is this other guy? Hal Lambert. He's a. Are you kidding me? He's a MAGA ETF founder. What the is that? What the is that? Trump donor and fundraiser, former DeSantis donor. Oh my God, are you? Can you imagine that being your title? Oh my, Hal Lambert. What? How do you sleep at night? Who the? Oh my God, that sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like you wake up in hell and you're like, you're a MAGA ETF founder, and I can't imagine that. And really, I'm sitting next to Roy Wood Jr. I love Roy Wood Jr., man. He is so funny. If you guys haven't seen I've Got News for You, it's actually pretty good. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. I'm still kind of new at this. I'm still new, but I'm kind of getting more comfortable with it. I'm hoping someday to be as great as my idol, Jennifer Welch, and she's my favorite person to do videos on. And if you're interested in watching any of those, you can check them out right now.
They got your data, dumbass.
Do not come.